Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's had a blessed week and looking forward to a great weekend. It is a beautiful day here in Texas, in Forney, Texas, which is where we're living at now. Been here for a year and a half, and I am loving it. I'm loving the weather. Man, it's just now getting warm, but it's not too hot either. It is perfect weather. All right, so I'm loving it. So I want to talk right now about the topic of tongues, the gift of tongues, and prophecy. I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, and you know what? Many people think, there are unfortunately some Christians that think that unless you speak in tongues, that you don't have the Holy Spirit in you. That is false gospel. That's a false gospel. Not everybody is gifted with the gift of tongues. All right, let's go to 1Corinthians chapter 14, and let's start in verse 1, and we're going to finish in verse 7. All right, follow the way of love and eagerly desire spiritual gifts, especially the gift of prophecy. Okay, we can desire it. That, again, desire does not mean that you get it. Okay, you can desire $1 million. Does that mean you're going to get it? No. Okay, verse 2. For anyone who speaks in a tongue does not speak to men but to God. Indeed, no one understands him. He utters mysteries with his spirit. But everyone who prophesies speaks to men for their strengthening, encouragement, and comfort. He who speaks in a tongue edifies himself, but he who prophesies edifies the church. I would like every one of you to speak in tongues. I would like everyone to speak in tongues. Man, everybody would like to be able to speak in tongues. But again, liking one does not mean that you are able to. All right? He who prophesies is greater than one who speaks in tongues, unless he interprets, so that the church may be edified. So if you're going to speak in tongues, you need to have somebody interpret it, okay? Verse 6, now brothers, if I come to you and speak in tongues, what good will I be to you unless I bring you some revelation or knowledge or prophecy or word of instruction? If somebody comes to me and speaks in tongues, and I don't understand what he's saying, and he can't explain it to me either, what good is it? Okay? Verse 7, even in the case of lifeless things that make sounds, such as the flute or harp, how will anyone know what tune is being played unless there is a distinction in the notes, meaning making music? All right? When you play an instrument, it's not just to make any noise. It's because there's a note, okay, behind it, and music that's understood is being played. All right. If you hear a certain song, just by sometimes hearing the first notes, you know what song it is even before the words are sung. Same thing with speaking in tongues. Not everybody is, and there's a time and place to speak in tongues. I mean, not everybody has this gift, okay, and and there's also a time and place to speak in tongues. Okay, it's not out of order. It's not out of the blue where you start speaking in tongues. Okay, it is a revelation needs to be brought forth. Somebody needs to be able to interpret it. Okay, if somebody starts speaking in tongues, if you're praying and just out of the blue somebody starts speaking in tongues, and nobody in the circles is able to interpret what the other person is saying in tongues, that is out of order. It's not necessarily godly. Okay, so tomorrow or in the next couple of days, we're going to go into a little bit more text on the gift of tongues. Okay, but again, this is just very key and very important because unfortunately there are some Christians and some beliefs that, again, the tongues, if you don't speak in tongues, you don't have the Holy Spirit in you. And that is just absolutely false. Okay? If you go to the Gospels and you go to what Jesus says, he leaves us. When he left us already the Holy Spirit. So when you accept Christ, you get the Holy Spirit. Okay? So God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Make sure you go to church on Sunday. Find a small group where you can meet together. Every Tuesday, we meet via Zoom. If you're interested, send me a message and I will send you a Zoom invite. We do a Bible study. We're going through the book of Romans. Okay, right now. God bless you guys.